Hi, everyone. It is August 17, 2021, Ohio.
Before, but issues are still prevalent. For the houses out here, they've been hit just as hard as the roads, with several homeowners telling me their basements are completely flooded. One family I spoke with out on Lancaster Avenue say this has happened to them more than once this year. But to stop people from driving through the water and flooding their homes even more, they've set up a truck as a barrier just to keep the situation from getting worse.
We've got the road blocked off makeshift so that cars can't come through. But every time a car drives through, it's pushing the water into everyone's house. So
a lot of flooded basements.
A lot of flooded basements. This is the second time within a 12-month period that this has happened.
Oh, the repeat of the flooding. The repeats.
Overwhelming, kind of.
Tropical storm Fred came through the Panhandle and brought 4 to 8 inches of rain to Lynn Haven.
This is, well, I seen it when it was really bad with Sally, but this is pretty bad. It's surrounding us everywhere. They've never seen this in here through here flooded ever, and they've been here 60 years, so.
Lynn Haven resident Regina Bashir says while she's seen flooding in her neighborhood before, she's never seen it to this extent.
It's bad in this area. I feel bad for a lot of people.
Sarah Colemetz was out walking around with her family after Fred passed through the Panhandle.
I think it was worse than what we were expecting to see, honestly, because I wasn't expecting for areas to be this bad.
Some residents are calling for the city of Lynn Haven to fix potential engineering issues to prevent this from happening again.
This road is always flooded. This house is flooded before. So this is a little low area in here, but it can be mitigated with the proper engineering.
But at the end of the day, people are finding reasons to stay positive.
In all, we were very, very fortunate. Lake Davis was full to the top. And more rain, slower moving, we would have flooded.
In Lynn Haven, Emily McClure.
Panhandle, Fred. Tropical storm Fred. North Carolina. Fairview. Can't play this because I will get a copyright strike. Oh boy. Flooding all over. And some areas far worse. North Carolina. I hope there's nobody in that car. Where is this? Asheville, North Carolina. And road closures all over. Flagstaff, Arizona.
As soon as the rain started, it turned into a mass effort to protect homes.
We're bouncing back and forth between watching the radar, watching the meters, and watching the cameras, just waiting for it to hit again.
You didn't know. When we were talking.
It was after this moment we got a fourth alert that the floodwaters would be coming down the burn scars at any minute. We watched as that powerful water made its way down, taking over the streets. Homeowners and friends working to keep the water from breaching a wall of sandbags.
It's terrifying. It happens. It's the fourth time that this has come through, and every time is worse. And so, like I said, we rush home to try to man pumps and rebuild walls where the water's breaching. And I have to call the schools and tell them, pull my kid out of class because they probably heard the alarms go off and they're probably terrified because they've been here you know, when this has happened, and say under no circumstances can you let my child walk home from school. You know, I have 2 kids who on either direction go to school within a mile up here, and it's terrifying, and it's going to happen again and again and again until something is done.
I mean, any parent feels that moment right there. Nicole, you were there when all that water came rushing through in those streets. We see the pictures here, you all talking and even comforting that homeowner.
Yeah, there's a follow-up.
And as we come on the air, shocking images out of Flagstaff. Devastating flooding. Roads turned to rivers. Families scrambling to save their homes, using sandbags to try to keep the rushing water out. Let's get straight to Nicole Grigg live there right now. Nicole, it looks like the flooding has slowed at least a little, but this damage is serious.
Well, yeah, the flooding has receded, but now the cleanup efforts underway. But take a look at this. This is one home where there were concrete barricades, sandbags on top. The floodwaters move them. This house right here, I can tell you right now, it flooded the inside. I actually talked to the same homeowner here about 3-4 weeks ago, and now he's doing this all over again. But I want to bring in one of those homeowners who lives just around the corner. Anissa, talk to me about what we just went through. I was with you this entire time. We got the alert on our phone, and you told me, we have 20 minutes. You're not moving. Get your car right there. And right. You told us we have to stay. We can't go.
Well, you know, as you know, the alarm goes off, and it's 20 minutes likely before the water that hits on the burn scar gets funneled down into this neighborhood, and we get the full force of all of the rain shed that hits that burn scar. And it's not just a matter of, they're not extreme, you know, crazy rainfall events. It is our monsoon that we get, and now that there was a burn up there, the mountainside is not able to absorb any of that water, so all of it comes rushing to this neighborhood. And as you said, you know, they have put in flood mitigation efforts, and it's failing. It's failing these people who live in this neighborhood over and over again. This was the 4th time now that we've experienced the flooding, and it seems that each time it's gotten more extreme.
You have 5 children. You moved out of your house. You're still paying a mortgage on it, and it keeps flooding. And you just have told me that you just feel like you're so alone beside your neighbors who are dealing with this. You just feel like there's no one out here trying to help.
You know, I mean, I'll be very honest with you. It just seems as if there's no end in sight. I don't think that there's anything right now that's going to stop this flooding from continuing to happen over and over again anytime that burn scar sees significant rainfall. So we've done this 4 times, and you're right, I did. I moved my kids and me out of the house, and we're living with family temporarily because it's just not safe to be here. You saw that.
You know, Kurt, who lives here, I mean, it's just devastating to see. I mean, he's right here and cleaning up all over again. He's emotional, you're emotional. This is a lot of emotion.
It's beyond what I think we could ever anticipate it, as far as just the strain that it takes on us both emotionally and physically. As you said, the cleanup's underway, and you know, we put a call out to everybody we know on social media, and we just beg our friends and family and strangers and neighbors to come, and you know, this happens and then we rebuild it. And in all honesty, it's going to happen again, and we're just doing what we can with the resources we have and the knowledge we have to just try to not only protect our homes, but to make sure that people can be safe. I mean, people's lives are at risk.
Thank you so much.
Wow. Wow. Here's our beautiful radar. You like the tail? This is Fred. Ah, the storms with a tail. That seems to be the new normal for precipitation. Weather fronts, a tail. And, well, look at all of these nice, precipitation soldiers. All lined up. Nice line right there. But yeah, Flagstaff, oh man, monsoon rains. You guys in Arizona, weigh in. Is it a normal monsoon for you? It's unbelievable. Texas, how are you doing? And, well, Mexico. But yeah, flooding in North Carolina, flooding in South Carolina. And, yeah, no end in sight, just like that woman said. We actually got rain here, and it's pretty friggin' cold here. Well, I'm cold, I don't know. But actually started a fire today. That was after days and days and days of it being in the high 90s. Well, nothing is normal. Look at this extremely low frequency going right through here. That's that defined straight line. Your sawtooth, high frequency, the circular pattern. Your extremely low frequencies belting away. And any of these pie-shaped Doppler radar signatures are extremely low frequencies. So, yes, of course. Look, it stretches out and then it's pulled right back in. Stretches out, pulled back in. Oh my God. Don't you love it that we never get to hear any truth anymore of all who are on mainstream media? Oof, boy. I get really nervous now with any kind of weather that's beyond the the high temperatures. Any kind of wind, I'm nervous about power outages. But the flooding, yeah, and even worse. And there's another fire. This is the Caldor fire, and it has destroyed over 50 homes, schools, post office.
So hard to comprehend.
You're right. I'm sorry I interrupted you. I didn't realize 30,000. That is just amazing that it's grown that big this fast. And I mean, just sitting here, you know, I'm really kind of reflecting on these images. They're going to be very hard for people to see. Like, look, these are little desks, little chairs. We're right outside the elementary school here in Grizzly Flats. You know, I can see, you know, the school papers, the books, the ashes that these are the images that people are going to be coming back here. They've lost their fire department. They've lost their post office out here. There's just so much destruction. Photographer Rory Ward and I, we were driving around all day and we saw just down power lines, home after home. There's more homes burned than there actually are ones standing. This town has been decimated. This town of, you know, about 1,200 people out here. I want to go show you some of the video just to give you an idea here of what the first responders are driving in. If we can go to this video, you know, we're talking about these debris in the road. There's down trees, these power lines. In one area, Rory and I, we crossed a bridge that wasn't on fire when we came back. The wooden bridge was on fire. We had to quickly cross it just to get back to to safety there. So this fire is still very active. There's fire crews out right now. They're trying to break these lines, protect some of these houses out there. And we actually ran into a guy on his motorcycle, lives around here. He was in here before the closures happened, and he's been going around to his neighbors' homes, just trying to breaking a lot of bad news to some of these neighbors. And I got a chance to talk with him. If you guys just want to go to this soundbite here and take a listen to what he said. Lots of bad news.
When I rode up here, I had tears. It's unreal that the fires can get away so fast and do this kind of damage. You know, this is beautiful country. It'll be a long time before it's this beautiful again.
Whole lot of evacuations, but I don't know if you've noticed any of the, well, we'll call them anomalies. I don't know. Is this a wood partition? And once again, you know, you see, yeah, a whole lot of destruction. But then it looks like the elementary school was literally bombed. There were other things that I saw, but that's my guess. You know, the trees surrounding it look fine. There's something else I saw. Well, it doesn't strike me as odd that the fire is right along the edge where the guardrails are. So electromagnetic frequencies, directed energy, metal is conductive of frequencies. But I also saw, you know, like the plastic seats on the, where was it? Hang on. So hot, that's what they're saying. Literally just, well, looks like a bomb hit the buildings, hit the structures, but somehow it didn't melt. This plastic, it's fine here. Yeah, well, lots of yellow tape up marking homes under mandatory evacuation orders. This is in between Sacramento and Sahara, I believe. This is Placerville. This is not the Dixie Fire. This is another fire. Another fire. Wow. I'm tired. I'm really tired. Here.
News for you this morning. This is between Sacramento and Tahoe. A wildfire exploding overnight.
Sorry, Sacramento and Tahoe.
Now, the evacuation and rescue efforts, they are underway, adding to a recipe for disaster, those incoming gusty winds.
That's always such a big concern. Today in the base, Chris Sanchez has been pouring through some of the new video that's just coming into our newsroom and the extent of the damage of this fire so far, Chris.
Yeah, we just got a frightening dispatch from those front lines. Firefighters say they are having trouble accessing water as they are defending a community where we know at least 50 homes are already wiped out. Those homes are in the Grizzly Flats neighborhood, which looked like this morning. U.S. Forest Service firefighters are still trying to defend what structures are left against the Caldor fire. They are working alongside CAL FIRE, which said it was already out of control when the fires kicked in last night. Now, our crew spotted an ambulance headed into that danger zone to reach at least one person who was reportedly burned. At least 50 homes are destroyed. We also know several other structures are also under threat. CAL FIRE is still fighting that fire, which is now at least 2,200 acres. There are mandatory evacuation orders in effect. Now, here's where the Caldor fire is burning. It is in El Dorado County. If you are familiar, Grizzly Flats and Happy Valley are the places that are under evacuation order. It is a tough firefight because of that rugged terrain there. Here's what an NBC Sacramento reporter saw this morning.
Right here, this is the perimeter of the fire where it's just slowly advancing. It's burning its way through the forest, where in other areas it's burning upslope and fueled by the wind. And that's where there's a much greater, it's burning at a much greater rate, much faster.
Now, in the incident report for this Caldor fire, which started on Saturday, the U.S. Forest Service and CAL FIRE said that they were already stretched thin because of other fires, and these are the fires that are burning right now in our state, so it is no wonder that they are taxed. So far this year, more than 1 million acres have either burned or are burning in more than 6,500 incidents. That includes the Dixie wildfire, which we have been reporting on extensively. That also was fed by wind gusts overnight. There are new evacuation orders for the Dixie fire in the area of Susanville, where thousands of homes are now under threat. That fire is only 31% contained. Now,
oh, my God. Wow. Okay. This also Arizona. Where? Not entirely sure, but monsoon hail?
That ain't snow, that's hail. Or slush.
Welcome to summer in Arizona. That's the feeling from James, who sent us this video and photos of hail near Mormon Lake. About 20 miles away, it was still coming down, making it look more like winter. Here in the valley, strong winds and rain. Jennifer Johnson sending us this video from 75th Avenue and Cactus. Across the valley in Gold Canyon, the wind was not letting up. The National Weather Service clocked a wind gust of 73 miles an hour in
Hurricane winds. That's what we see. That's the new normal. Hurricane winds all over. Not just our country, but all over the world.
Queen Creek. The wind causing power outages and extensive damage across the valley. The wind too much for this tree to stand against in Phoenix. And we can't really tell what Rose the pig is thinking in Glendale, but either way, she knows what Monsoon 2021 can do.
Yeah. Well, Rose, glad you're okay. So, here is Australia.
Checking in on a positive case at Greystanes, police in full PPE as they break the news to Gabriel Chalub. He's off to a health hotel.
Well, I went and got tested for peace of mind. Didn't get a text message that I'm positive or negative, and about a week after, I've got police calling me. So I don't know, maybe it's a mix-up.
The concreter heads off for an indefinite stay.
All good? Okay.
Beautiful. You're right. For an indefinite stay. For an indefinite stay. For an indefinite stay.
Picking people up from their homes because, well, they have a positive read, and, well, now you have to go to a hotel indefinitely. And they just walk off and go. Well, alone, there's nothing you can do. New York.
Wow. This?
No.
Where are we?
China.
China?
I think so.
North Korea?
Maybe.
Russia?
You'll never know.
Oh, wait, no. We're in New York. And look, vaccinated only. And for what? Just to watch a movie. Oh no, how will I live with my life?
I think so.
North Korea?
Maybe.
Russia?
Vaccinated only. Can't go in. You're diseased. New York City vaccine mandate takes effect today. You know, so many lives, man, millions of lives are so unbelievably disturbed by liars.
A lot of restaurant owners say this puts them in an impossible position, the expectation that they mandate proof of vaccine of their patrons, many of those patrons who have been supporting them over the past year and a half. We are with bar owner Ken Torado. He owns Killmeyer's Old Bavaria Inn here on Staten Island. You know, Ken, you say that this policy is just going to cost you money at a time when business is very sensitive and vulnerable, and you said this is just going to jeopardize your business here. Explain that to us.
Well, this is the hospitality industry. That's what they say. And yet now, after everything we went through last year, they expect us to ask our regular customers for proof of vaccination. They pass these mandates, but now we have to be the police. I mean, it's a German restaurant. I mean, I don't want to feel like the Gestapo asking people for their papers when they walk in the door. That's not a way to start a relationship with a new customer, and it certainly is going to be an aggravation, and it's going to be an insult to my regular customers.
Yeah, you say that, this is a very conservative area of New York City, and that you are prepared to ease into compliance with this policy, but you're bracing yourself for the reaction of your customers. What do you think is going to happen?
Well, they've had enough. After everything we went through last year with just being shut down for so many months and then gradually being allowed to open up at 25%, 35%, people are angry. I mean, on the internet, I see people are threatening to boycott restaurants that follow these guidelines. I mean, I can't take another hit like that. I mean, I am stuck between a rock and a hard place. I'm trying to do the right thing, but at the same time, we're struggling to hold on as it is now, and they keep setting us up to fail.
Yeah, and the other...
And that's what psychopathic narcissists do. Malignant narcissists set you up to fail. They set you up to fail, and then they never give you, that helping hand to get back up, to succeed. They keep you there. Well, what else do I have? Biden to increase food stamps benefits 25%? Wow. That's pretty, that's a hefty hike. You don't see that very often, but there's going to be so many food shortages. Maybe that's why they're doing it. They won't be able to get food. Okay, Grace now is hurricane strength. But you know what? What happened here? Grace now doesn't appear to be going to Florida. And I thought Grace was going to Florida. No, now Grace is going out to the Pacific Cancun area. Hurricane strength. Wow, all right. And let's see. FBI allegedly told informant in Whitmer kidnapping plot to lie. You're kidding. The FBI told an informant to lie? Oh, please. Tell me you're kidding. Yeah, a man named Dan to lie to people in the group he had infiltrated and possibly even implicate an innocent third party. FBI involved in Whitmer kidnapping. Oh, man. The FBI found out in so many events to have been involved from the start. This has been going on for decades, and, the American people, they don't want to know. What is this? USDA crop tour warns mega drought impacting corn and soybean yields. Oh, wow, are we going to have not a very good time coming up shortly. The food shortages are going to be pretty bad here. And What else? Free society dwindles as permission requirements grow. Ah. Geez. I thought we were still living in a free country. I haven't felt any of my freedom taken away. Have you? Bonanza for the government officials. COVID-19. Yeah, sure has been a bonanza. And once you give away your power, very hard to get it back. What is this? Pentagon admits Taliban has billions in U.S. weapons. Biden has yet to speak to any world leaders since fall of Kabul. Well, we have the fall of the United States going on here. It's the fall of the empire. I mean, do you really think that your president, or the president of the free world, has time to talk to anyone?
What happens to the billions of dollars worth of weaponry that the U.S. gave Afghanistan? Does the U.S. have a plan for that, or does it remain in the Taliban hands?
We don't have a complete picture, obviously, of where every article of defense materials has gone, but certainly a fair amount of it has fallen into the hands of the Taliban. And obviously, we don't have a sense that they are going to readily hand it over to us at the airport. Yes.
Are you kidding? The Taliban? They had a press conference. They were actually at a fair on a merry-go-round and bumper cars. Do I have to prove that to you? I'm not going to. You can find it on the internet. I just don't have that page open. But they're so nice now, the Taliban. Why wouldn't they just give back billions of military equipment, billions of dollars of military equipment? Have you seen the pictures? They're all over the internet. I'm going. Goodbye.